Good afternoon, everyone. We should be live. Let's see. Yes, we are live. Right, let's just share the link and I'll get right into it. We are on the next stage. Say hello. I have had a brilliant... well, I've had a brilliant... I'll explain that in a minute. Let me just get everything up. Okay, so let me get chat up as well. I don't think I've got that up. Nope. And then I'll explain what I'm yapping about. That'd be pretty boring live stream if I can't read chat. Okay. Hey. How you doing, dude? Good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us right at the beginning. Okay, so we have... Well, I have discovered... So last time we sped up the frame rate by... the debug to release comparison frame rate by 100 times. We added a couple of things that made it so it worked. And I have... since then been studying more synchronization, which I kind of got bored with. So I added more notes. And then I decided, instead of just doing that aimlessly... hi Kalia, how you doing, dude? Instead of just doing that aimlessly, I will start doing a bit of development work before the live stream. I almost forgot to stream today because I was kind of locked in. And... yeah, we are on the next thing. Let's turn this music down a little bit. Can't really hear myself. Yeah, so I figured out the performance gap. So this here and this here are like what we want to achieve. Basically, as much GPU utilization as possible. And I figured out why this gap exists. Finally, we had synchronization issues before. We solved them. We reduced the number of draw calls, so we made this nicer and the loop overhead smaller, which is great. But what actually is this here? I finally figured it out. It's the updating of the physics. Mainly getting the data out of the physics engine and into the data that needs to be uploaded to the GPU. And all I did here is say, okay, only give me the data in this one. I said in here, only give me the data for the objects that are dynamic. So the static objects are the things that don't move. Are being updated as well as the dynamic objects here, and there's way more static objects, right? Here we're only updating the dynamic objects, and this, as you can see, we almost, based on that alone, we almost like half. We almost do everything in like half the amount of time. Yes, pretty much it is. It's more GPU memory management that we need to worry about. So effectively, instead of updating the objects in here, let me show you. The thing that made the performance gain, you see this like little, this is where the performance came from. Is dynamic. I just said is this solid? That's effectively what it's telling me there. And is it dynamic? Because we don't want to update the physics for things that don't have physics. And we have 2 dynamic objects in the scene, and we have 4,442 static objects in the scene. So this reduced this function calls overhead, and the color as well. I guess that also went away, but that's just honestly more to debug things. I could actually just get rid of that. But anyway, because we did that, we only go in here twice. The buffer we upload to the GPU is tiny, and that reduced the amount of overhead. Okay, so I'm not quite being honest here. This is only for this excludes the broken skybox, which I haven't touched in ages, and the debug geometry. So I'm trying to do the same setup for the regular geometry as the debug geometry at the moment. So I'm in the middle of moving. I'm in the middle of adding. What are they called? Descriptor sets back in. Because effectively I'm updating too much all at once here, so I can't really do what I did here. With this, exclude everything that isn't dynamic. I also need to exclude things that are asleep. That's going to be a huge speed up as well. Because in physics engines, if an object is asleep, it shouldn't be receiving any new movement based on things. So if asleep, we also need to make sure that that's excluded. So let's just say we have 5,000 dynamic objects and only one of them is active. Then we reduce that again. So we need to have that data in here. But for now, I'm trying to migrate a pure buffer device address to a descriptor set buffer device address hybrid, because the uniform buffer objects in these shaders, these things here, these things, are not that complicated to set up. They're quite simple. This just is a global descriptor set that gets updated. That updates everything. So you consider this as like a global. The only thing we need to pull out is this, the model next. But I'm doing things one at a time because I tried to do it all at once and it didn't work. So yeah, I hope everyone's up for that. We're going to be hopefully getting to this level of performance with everything added. So yeah, removed only skybox debug and da-da-da-da. So we're going to hopefully get to the original, but without this massive gap here. This may be less of an issue later on when we actually have threading. So the problem right now as well, the physics engine isn't threaded. The renderer isn't threaded. So everything's running in the same thread, so it's all single threaded. So it has to run in sequence. But regardless, doing what I've done already is a performance boost even if we had threading. If we had threading, we would have this would be smaller. That's the only difference. This gap would still be here, but it would just be smaller. So yeah, soon enough we'll have this lovely setup here down here. And for those who don't know, have just tuned in, this is just tracking how long my frame takes to render. And yeah, so yeah, I'm trying to get this yellow bar to be as busy as possible. We want stuff to be going on the GPU as much as we can. We don't want to be waiting for anything. Like this here, we're waiting for a bunch of stuff on the CPU here. This is why it's slow. So we're close to being done with our frame rate performance issues, and we can actually get back to fixing, adding stuff to the game, and continuing on without having to do a whole root canal. So that's nice. Let me just a notch lower. I don't know if it's loud for you guys. It might, yeah. If I just adjust the volumes just before we get stuck in, I will put it there. Hopefully that's good. Hopefully you can still hear it. I think I just need to turn it down on my end. So that's me. That's my Windows sound. That's not your Windows sound. Don't worry. Okay, so let's dive into this. So yeah, speed ups all around. So this is actually the biggest performance thing that scales poorly. So once we crack this, we'll be good. And the last thing I did was just before the stream. Now there's going to be a bit of flashing, so be warned. Yeah, I made sure that shutting down doesn't crash. So we're just trying to fix that particular issue, and I think it's to do with the fact that I'm using this copy thing. I don't think it likes what I did here. So yeah, we're gonna try and get this to work. the first thing I'm going to try, I don't want to have to do this, but I'm going to try it anyway, is we're going to be doing a mem copy. So let's throw that in. So the first thing, if I want to do a mem copy, I've also got to allocate, I've got to map some memory. So we're going to map some memory next. So we're going to copy the same pattern. So debug uniform buffer, and then let's change this to, oops, sky, no, debug uniform map, and throw this in here. And next we want to change this to uniform this, so this reinterpret cast makes sense. Yeah, sorry, my volume's all over the place today. So change this to debug. So if someone doesn't understand what I just said in the intro, yeah, just leave a comment and I can explain it in more detail and explain what I mean by this and that. I'm not always the best explainer at things, so it's not your fault if you don't understand. It's often me not explaining myself fully and assuming some knowledge or something that I shouldn't have, or just explaining poorly, which is probably the way more likely. So debug uniform, now what is it called? Uniform debug data. Temp debug data, I don't know. So that's, and then we want to update the view projection. So global, this is quite an easy one. Temp data, debug data. So this is global, so this comes from the game camera. View internal 3D camera, yep, and then view projection. Okay, and then we want a mem copy. I can't exactly remember the order, so, or what I'm copying into. So that is the let's go to these two. Don't know why IntelliSense isn't helping. Couldn't find any results. That definitely exists, so. Oh, I see. Okay. Very straightforward. And this. Let's just check the shaders. There's nothing weird going on here. Did we move color out? No. So position, color, model. We might have to change the padding around as well. That's something I might have to do. I don't know yet. I don't think I should have to. So I think they're 32 padded, but let's just make sure everything's lined up before I continue. So this is 32, this is 32, this is 16, this is 16. And that's about it. So effectively we're going to combine these structs together and simplify that as well. That'd be cool. Let's see what we got wrong. Oh, apparently it's compiling. Nope, same problem. Okay, that's good to know because I didn't want to do it that way. Retry. We are missing a... we're not on mapping. Okay, so give me a minute and I'll just do this for temporarily. I don't want to actually do this all the time, so we will eventually remove this. So debug. But this is easier to just make sure that I'm getting this right because I want to do this instead. So let's just check all the things are the same. We don't need light and eye, so I'm trying to not add them in unnecessarily. But it is the same struct. Okay, so they're the same. Scalar bind at 0.11. Let's see. It's not. Let's just get rid of this for a minute. Obviously, it'll be huge now, but I kind of want to see if global scale is affecting something. I think it shouldn't be. No. So it's... Why would it be doing that? Sorry, let me get off that. Sorry about the flashing. I wonder if the padding has changed, but I thought it was 6. I had to pad by 32. Okay, so uniform, all. We don't want all stages really. Just the vertex shader. And what else? I highly doubt that changed anything, but we'll try it anyway. It's possible there's some like bad data in there because of that. Let's see what else. I can get rid of this for now. Yeah, let's move back to what we were on because this worked. It's just something else is broken. So what this does, that code that I just added back in, is it does this mapping and unmapping thing for me inside VMA. Which I can obviously do myself. There's no, but I don't want to have like tons of these going on forever, where I just map 1,000 things, especially if I just have persistent mapping for a small uniform buffer. So let's see what else I got wrong. Uniform buffer has everything here, does a mem copy and does this. And this is ran every... Yeah, I don't think this is ran... This is ran above everything, which I kind of tried to copy after the bind. We bind the descriptor set here. It's right now I might be binding it too much maybe. But I don't think it makes a difference. It's a state change, but I'll try it anyway. Right now in theory we don't have to bind it. We only need to bind it once. Hi user, how you doing? Good to see you, my man. Okay. Still no good. Hope you're having a good day. Okay. Let's go on our shaders. Let's just look at this one more time. I don't think I have to do anything different, really, because I'm using instance rendering here. Effectively the same idea. Oh, hang on, the order matters. I might have got the order wrong. Did I? View projections on top. Okay. No, that's the same order. Next thing to check is the data I removed. So, color, model, position. Is that the same order? Let's see. Model, color, yes. They should be the same. Oops. This shouldn't be that complicated. Okay, now I've just got to check the allocation, actually. That's the other thing. We have a uniform buffer created. And we're not setting any initial data because there's none. Because this needs to happen at runtime. So currently we're trying to get more performance than we did yesterday, which would be great. I'm just kind of curious what... I think we're getting repeating music. I was listening to this earlier. My 319 music playlist. Alright. Let's see what we end up with. Sounds good. We have a descriptor layout. We have the uniform, which is at that point. And right, I'm going to change this to debug rendering. That means it would be transparent. Okay, so this is also created here. Okay, which is confusing. I should move this. In fact, I'm going to move it now. To the same place where everything else is created. Went past the... where that was. Which is here. I will put this at the top. And we will use the same variable. Reset. Reset. And that should be good. Heyo, hi Ratchet, how you doing? Yeah, thanks for sharing that, what is it called, article. It's really in-depth. I will have to thank the graphics programming Discord. Hope you're having a good day, by the way. You may not like what we're doing right now. I'm adding descriptor sets in to my renderer rather than taking them out. Because they're global, so it makes more sense in my mind to have them in the way they are at the moment. Okay, we don't need this. I know we do we? Where's that descriptor set? Yes. Blasphemy. Yes, I know. I mean, we still have a load of buffer device addresses, but I figured out the performance issue as well. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to remove this effectively. We're trying to get this down as low as we can get it. And because of that, I'm trying to add descriptor sets. But yeah, so yeah, that's what we're doing. Now I will put this back actually, because this is actually just a loop with one element in, and it eventually will need to be incremented over. Right. How slow as well? Yeah. It's. I actually need to add Tracy and time that particular function down, but I'll show you. This is with it for every single model. This is without it for every single model. So a big difference. And this gets worse with scale. So every time I do this gap gets larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. So the ratio gets worse as I add more draw calls or go through that loop more. So yeah, trying to get rid of this to end up like this. One of those things, right? Okay, so but currently I'm not quite succeeding in the way I want, which is annoying. I'm updating the descriptor set. I've created the buffer for that descriptor set, but now we're getting junk, which is not good. Oh, and the descriptor set update. Where's this? Create descriptor set. Huh. So, oh, okay, so it's creating a descriptor set for interesting. What? What's the error say? The range is not whole size and is 0. This cannot be, when you're updating the descriptor set, it can't be 0. Okay. I don't think I changed this, but fine. We'll look into it. So apparently the size is 0. Oh, okay, so the creation struct coming in is not good? Question mark? I don't know. Yep, we successfully broke it, guys. Woo! So I feel like I got a little roasted there by that song. What I usually see being done is one step that's where the renderer gets all the data it needs from the physics system. Like update them full rather than update individually. Yeah, I would need to figure out how to pull out the data in that way. We could build an array that has all the data in. And then we update everything in one go with that struct. I do that, but it's not. It's in the middle of. I'm trying to think. What we could try is avoid doing that get global transform twice for the debug geometry. If it's just giving us the position, we could just copy over the data from the actual model that corresponds to that thing. That might work. Yeah, I think you might be right. That might be. I want to limit the amount of the things that I'm doing. So with the when it's a solid object, I need to remember if the relationship between these two is exactly the same. Like, is scene entity the same as is that the same function? I can't even tell. Scene entities. So we have debug index instead. And here we have, that should be like this, I think. I think that's the same. Yeah, because this gets updated in scene. Yeah, that's what we might do after, is try to reduce this amount, try to reduce the draw calls. Sorry, the physics updating function thing. Yeah, so these all have position, model, and color, which is basically the collision knot geometry. That tells me it's solid. And yeah, there's probably a way of doing this once for every single type of object that has that position. You could always see calling, yes. I would have to look at the documentation and see which one's which. I was unsure exactly which one was the correct answer. But I am aware that that does actually return a map 4. But I think we can at least try to reduce this by half by calling it once and then just copying the data over for the other stuff. Or if we can get away with it, not even going in this loop at all, like getting rid of this loop and just doing another copy with the same data that we got earlier. If the data is one-to-one, that might be possible. But that might, I don't know yet, that might be a bit too much optimization. We might end up like assuming too much in that situation. But I think that I can at least get an NT and their debug geometry together one-to-one. I don't think I can map every single entity to a collision geometry. Guaranteed. That I know of. That might be possible, might not be possible. I haven't actually thought about it yet. But yeah. We can get rid of this. We can do it at least one less time per loop. From 2 to 1. That would be good, in theory, if I can just... For some reason, I cannot do descriptor sets again, as usual. Surprising no one in chat. Escape Point is struggling with descriptor sets yet again. But yeah, that's a good observation, by the way, Ratchet. Right, so why are you being dumb? We copy this in. Size off, allocator, yes. What am I getting wrong here? Because it kind of exists. I don't exactly know. Crypto sets are cringe, Art of War. How do you Ratchet, if you were to build a renderer with no descriptor sets, how do you handle global states? What I mean at that, like this is updated per instance. This here is true for every single thing in this frame. So the global model and the view projection is the same for every single vertex, instance, and yeah, every single vertex and instance. Like, do you just do a buffer device address for like for global as well, and then just index into that, or do you use the push constants and throw everything in the push constants if it's like a global state like that? Because I'd be curious to know, because I don't uniform buffer objects that are tied to a descriptor set. It's just one way of doing it. So you put a buffer device address for a global buffer into the push constants. Makes sense, makes sense. Yeah. You have a seam buffer like that. I see. Yeah, I've seen that. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I had a feeling you would do that. Right. So if I did want to do that, I could do the same. And then just not have this binding thing at all. Another buffer device address that's global. Fair enough, you just great. Yeah, I'm almost with you on that one. I might I'm tempted to do the same. But we'll see. Okay, so another thing I could do is just, instead of this unmapping mapping thing, I think at some point I will end up doing what you've done there, Ratchet, with your global, like a global buffer device address that has all the data in. It's just we're a bit scruffy at the moment, because it is a bit messy, to be honest. But I'm just gonna see if this works. Give me a minute. Equals GPU.access buffer. Oh, I've done that thing again. Keep doing that where I put that buffer handle and name the buffer the same thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and do this because I kind of want to get away from unmapping mapping manually. And the size of... Why are you doing that now? Uniform guy and uniform buffer. So this is just to like, because it doesn't really scale very well. Like, you end up having like tons of unmapped stuff on the currently mapped stuff. So I'm trying to do it with the VMA. Oh yeah. For some reason this is broken. I completely forgot. So I think what I'm going to do is just remove the seam, put the seam buffer back. Something about that moving the seam buffer has changed a variable. It's fixed, broken something. Buffer creation. Okay. Where was it deleted? Here? Yeah, alright. And it was called this, so I'll change that. You forgot debug symbols for validation. Nope. I'm more getting added, or am I just tripping? Yeah, apologies for the flashing, I just want to check. Hopefully it's not too bad. I'll make it smaller. I can't tell. No, it seems like everything. Alright, I'm just going to do that one more time, just because of... Alright, I'm going to make it smaller again. Is it the same? More getting added, or...? No, I think they just flash in different timing. Okay. Yeah, okay, so let's do this for now, because I kind of want to get rid of these. These have been bothering me for a while. When is this used? So the buffer is uniform buffer. And we're going to throw this in here. GPU.access buffer. Buffer. Skybox uniform buff. And then we want this, and that's fine. We don't want this anymore. In fact, let's get rid of them. And get rid of this. I don't think this is any faster, I just think it's a little cleaner. I mean, VMAs often does a lot of stuff that's better than me, so I'm going to trust that it knows what it's doing. So where's this? That is here. And we're going to copy this. Same pattern. Throw this in there, and skybox material buff. And grab this. Change this. Skybox. Skybox data is now that. Oops. And go to this. We should be good. Now we don't have any unmapping functions to worry about. Cool. So apart from our broken debug renderer, again, we shouldn't have any issues. In fact, I'm just going to comment this out. No, that did not like that. Undefined. Oh, redefined. Where's the other one? Fair enough. Not sure if that's going to like that, but we'll check. It should be okay. Yeah, it's fine. Cool. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing. Instead of I guess that was more of a bike shed moment there, where I just fixed something I didn't really need to fix. Like, why aren't you copying properly then? Alright, I'm gonna put like an F here or something. Just to make sure this is legit the same thing. What have we got? Flashy red stuff. Yep. Okay, so that was the obvious thing done. Now what can I... Let's see, is this the right thing? I wouldn't call it bike shedding, but it might not be the best way to prioritize your time. Yeah, that's probably, yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, I didn't need to do that. But yeah, it's not like I didn't need to do that, but it's just like I could have done that when I've got everything fixed. Then again, arguing about this is actually, yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. So yeah, everyone, let's have an argument about AI in the comments so I don't actually have to do any work. No, don't actually do that. That's a joke. I have to say that just in case someone went, oh yeah, let's actually have an argument about AI, as it's very inflammatory. Anyway, what is going on? You know what this is perfect for? We all know it. We all know. We all love it. I don't know what my render is doing. We gotta see it. We gotta see it. Now I've just got to disable all the thingies and put it in release and all that kind of stuff, which we're very familiar with at this point. Just need to comment out this, comment out this, comment out this, and comment out the memory tracing. Okay, yep, scroll up. There's a bunch of other stuff I need to delete as well. I realized that I have a massive function called barrier, which is supposed to set up the where is it? Just thought I'd throw this in here. I kind of put a breakpoint here just to see if it was even it's not used, but there's some kind of like layer of barriers that I think I need to wipe from existence. It's supposed to set up memory and execution barriers. Yeah, we're not doing this. Holy no. I barely know how they work it at all. Let's not add some attempted optimization. Just building. And we'll make sure... We won't see much flashing if people are sensitive to that. I'm just going to make sure it runs, and then if it doesn't error out, okay, that's fine. I just need to see a... what's going on. So... load settings. Okay. Oh, hang on. I know why that's happened. Excuse that. That's not... That's out of date shaders. It doesn't copy to the release build because I don't typically update it very often. Oops. Nope. Wrong place. Okay. And yeah. Okay. And what was it? F12. No. Capture frame. You just click on that. Now I do want to see why it's breaking. So yeah, that makes sense. We don't care about the depth. Storage. Instance count. Index count. That doesn't make any sense. Why aren't you... Oh no, that does make sense, okay. Yeah. So these are actually correct. This is what I want to be doing. For two different types of instances. The duck and the rock. This is just a failed thingy. But I'm missing probably a... So for this, yeah, okay, we're on the right draw call. What am I doing again with this? Ah, there we go. Descriptor set layout 1. It's possible. Right, I hope this isn't true, but let's just change this to debug briefly. I hope I don't need to bind the debug. I don't think this makes sense. I just want to try something real quick. I'm just gonna make add the bindless descriptor set for the textures to this. Add, and then GPU bindless, yeah. Oh, I really shouldn't have done that. Sorry, let me, this is going to be another longish build. So I just had like a thought then. Okay. Yeah. And... No. That's good. Actually, I didn't want that to work. That would have been annoying if it did work. Right. What is this used for, by the way? Oh, this scene buffer? Ah, right. Okay, it has to be coded first. I swear I get tripped up on the stupidest things. Every single stream I feel like I'm a... Like last time I couldn't figure out how loops work. It was a bit of a disaster near the end. But we got it solved in the end. But every single time is descriptor sets, I tell you. Fixed function pipelines ruined Vulkan. No, No, sorry, fixed hardware. I wouldn't say fixed, not fixed function. That's something else. And again, bit of a joke that, because that's where they came from. Am I creating this properly? The shape. Okay, let's one thing I didn't check was this. No, it's still not right. Okay, final other thing I want to check. I've just got to check like everything like over and over again until I get it. Right, I'm going to assume that's working and just make sure this is correct. Okay, let's do something a bit radical. I'm just going to remove this model thing and just see if it's the layout. No, it's going to break a lot of stuff, but it won't take me that long. And in main, was that broken? Is game development just object-oriented programming? No. I had to put those in objects because I need to know the lifetime of them for threading. Like if I just put them in like just throw them in some other data structure, or just let them be global, it's hard to know when they would be allocated and destroyed. And if I threaded that up, that would be kind of awkward, because I would be accessing data that might not be initialized or is deleted. So that would be like a strange. I saw every video on Earth, all of them are using classes and structures. Object-oriented isn't just about class, if they're using classes and structs. I wouldn't say I'm using object-oriented. I think to even begin to start using object-oriented programming, you have to start using encapsulation, which is like public and private and stuff like that. Using objects themselves is just, it's been in C, and C is not an object-oriented language for a long time. So yeah, I'm not hiding any of my data and stuff like that. So I have an object-oriented as I have OOP as a subject at university right now, and everything we covered is used in the videos. Yeah, it's important to know for the industry, but I'm a bigger fan of data-oriented design than object-oriented programming. And I think I could be wrong, but I think game developers are moving away from object-oriented programming in general. I could be wrong, that could be a complete lie. And we're moving to data-oriented design approaches to solve problems. Again, don't know, but that's what I get. I get that vibe. That's a very vibe-based answer. Casey Moratori and John Blow have been talking about how other programmers are starting to take performance more seriously, and they're kind of happy about it. There's a small group of them at least, and because of that, yeah, I get the vibe that we're moving in that direction in general. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't agree or disagree with that. Ah, that's not going to work. Sad. Alright, I might have to go whole hog here and just kind of add another descriptor set just to see if... Oh, this is miserable. Yeah, what Ratchet said's correct, I think. I want to start game development, and since I was a kid, I wanted to, and learned object-oriented programming at school. I think I can start, I think, the code part at least, somewhat. I have to learn Blender, though. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't... It's not like with data-oriented design, I'm excluding the idea of objects or something like that. I will still use objects. As you can see, they're quite extensive in this project. But I have to agree, it's... solve the problems you actually have to solve rather than following a paradigm and using patterns and stuff like that. If you do that, you'll be in a better position. It's basically be an engineer, not an ideologue. And there is reasoning for data-oriented design. It's more concerned with memory access, I believe, and handling the data as the actual problem rather than the code, which is what depends on who you ask, but I feel like that's what data-oriented design is more about. It's more about how can we orchestrate the code to not solve the problem for us, but that's their code first rather than data first. I could be completely wrong with that observation, but that's what again, I don't really care that much. I just kind of do what I want to do. I just want to do what's fastest. And right now, as far as I can tell, that means studying performance and doing what's performance, which means, you know, that's why I have everything accessible and all that kind of stuff. What is going on? I better not just be stuck on this whole stream, I tell you. This is how we got here in the first place, blindly calling it. Yeah. What I'm doing is definitely, yeah, I would agree with Ratchet there. Just don't follow along. Don't be dogmatic. Be an engineer. You know, is it fast? Does it do what it's supposed to do? They're the questions you should be asking. So someone else said, how can we structure the code so we load the least amount of data that we don't need? Think about the data. I know it seems silly to say this, but the data you have a data transformation problem. Which one is the... Okay. So instead of like writing code and patterns to solve the problem, like think about what you're trying to actually do with the data itself, and you'll be in a better situation if you do that. It depends what you're trying to do. Like, I assume you're talking about games and stuff, but everything's a data transformation issue if you look at the data. Like for example, if you got like a JSON file and you need to parse it to display something, like how do you actually parse that data is actually important, not what the code is doing. The code is the way that goes about parsing, but the algorithms that you need to use are the things that, you know, that's what I mean. Like, if you organize the code around the data, I kind of I went a bit in a circle there, but so if in that JSON example, it's like, how can I achieve the specific goal I have in mind to parse this as fast as possible? That is being an engineer about the solutions and stuff. But you know, I'm still learning this stuff. It's not like I'm like an expert and I should be quoted and believed. You know, you should also, you know, research your stuff and get out there and that. What's this 0 again? This is my kind of beef with Rust, folks. They're way too dogmatic about things. Yeah. Hi, Frosty. I'm studying software engineering and information technology, so I want to learn engineering part 2. Yeah, just you're making a game with no engine. Yes, I am. If you have to parse JSON, yes, use SIMD JSON instead of making your own parser. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, isn't it? It's yeah, but they're very, very fast. So that's very true, but let's just pretend I'm not saying you're wrong there, Ratchet. I think that's like 99% true. But let's just say you need to parse something out of a JSON file and it's only one line. Like, it might be faster in that situation to change the file format and figure out a way to just deal with that particular thing instead of just, you know, writing a Python script or something. You know what I mean? Like, if we're thinking about the data, we can make like decisions based on that. That's my justification. Not that JSON files should be parsed in any particular way. It's you should be looking at the data and picking the best solution for that particular problem you're trying to solve as a data transformation problem. Yeah, hopefully that clears up. Yes, yeah, like yeah, exactly. So exactly what yeah. So can you write it out in a binary file? Can you do something faster? Do you even have to write it out to disk in the first place? Yeah, these are all like data transformation problems that you should be asking, depending on what you're trying to do. And that's actually doing engineering rather than I'm following the data model that this language prescribes or whatever. I watched a YouTube video and my YouTuber said I should do this, you know, or whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff. You want to avoid that. Again, I can fall into that, so I can be criticized for doing stuff like that sometimes. So I'm not saying I'm perfect either. What am I getting wrong? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, binary cache format for a past couple of days. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, don't listen to anyone who tells you to do AI instead of actually thinking. Yeah, please, you'll be your worst programmer if you do that. I like what someone, sorry, not to bring up AI, but someone said that the outcome of people who can write papers increases with AI, but it decreases the skill of people to write papers. I thought that was interesting. Same with coding, I think. Initially, you'll be able to write stuff quickly, but then it'll degrade. You'll get worse at actually doing it over time. Kind of a cool thing. Anyway, what type of game are you making? Will the game be tailored? Will the game? Yes, certainly it will be. Will the engine be tailored to the game, or are we in a never-ending development hell? No. Second. I'm gonna make a very small game, potentially put it on Steam for free. Don't quote me on that one. And yeah, then we're gonna move on to another thing, and then move on to another thing. I'm letting the game drive the engine's tech. Right now, I'm trying to reduce this gap here in the actual rent. This is end site, if you don't know. This is I'm trying to get down to this versus this big gap here with the GPU's not doing anything. It's doing some transferring, but I can do that all in one go instead. But so yeah, no, I'm just unemployed, unfortunately. Looking for a job. I was employed, so I just thought I'd, you know, stream while I'm not working, keep my skills sharp and get better and better every day. I was in the EDA industry, so I worked on software to do with simulating stuff in computer aided design for like creating chips. So stuff that TSMC would give their engineers to do stuff with, to solve various problems, lay out chips, do schematic driven design on chips, and then we would use that. They would use our tools to then make GPUs or CPUs or something like that. So that's just an example. Like we had lots of customers, not just TSMC. But yeah, that's what we sold. We sold 3 modeling software. What? Let me just think for a bit. I am stuck. Oh, this is so silly why I'm getting stuck on this. There's the buffer. Right, I'm just going to put anything in here, like literally junk. Or just an identity. And just see if we get the same, like, flashing. Like, is it the data? Right, okay, so get rid of this, put that there. So the copying of data is now just identity matrices. I think everything is back to normal. Let's see if we get flashing again. You finished uni for that? Well, yeah, I finished a computer science software engineering degree to be a programmer. Although I learned most of my coding outside of school. My school education wasn't the best. It wasn't a great school. So I just taught myself everything. No, we don't see any red spheres. So let's put this back. Okay, there's the flashing again. So this, these red spheres, for people who don't know, that's the collision geometry that I need to render, but sorry, it's flashing. It's probably not good for anyone's eyes. And for some reason that's broken in a way that I don't quite understand. I can't quite crack it. It's I've got scalar. Let's just go through the I'm using the scalar block layout extension, so I don't need to worry about that. The 2 matrices, so that would be 16 aligned anyway. I'm only using this in the. I'm not using it in the fragment shader. There's nothing in here because it should be just a color. I need to fix. Yeah, that was me experimenting. Yeah, just my own sanity. I'm gonna put that back actually, and I've seen that. I was just wondering if I could cheaply do some alpha, but I think I need to change the graphics pipeline to support that. So Dead by Daylight cap the game at 120 hertz. So give me a minute. At 120 hertz, they can't change it and go more. Also, other features like joining back into game if you crashed can't be implemented because the engine is limited. Made by them, by the way. Bare bones. The bare bones of an engine are bad. Oh, their bare bones of an engine is bad. Interesting. I didn't know any of that. Yeah, is it 2012? Yeah, I've literally don't know anything about Death by Daylight. Well, I have to admit, just me by myself, my engine is much worse. So, it's not like I can say I'm doing better or anything. Okay. This is hang on. I wonder if this is why my skybox is busted. We're getting the same issue, aren't we? Hang on. If I disable this copy for a minute so people's eyes don't bleed, and I'm kind of curious now, I might be stumbling into a problem that's a bit bigger than this than I thought. So I'm clearing to black and the skybox is broken at black, but if I clear to white, I swear there's some flashing that happens. Yeah, so where is the... So this should be doing a draw. So this shouldn't be white, but I'm going to fly around a minute. Okay, just making sure that the code makes sense. It's quite appropriate. This is Kingdom Hearts 1 music. We've opened the door to the light. No, I'm trying to trigger a... No, it's just not even doing anything. I'll link you the Spider-Man Talk Escape point. It's very interesting to watch. Yeah, please do. Yeah. But you're one dude and then a whole team of Canadians. Canadian soccer game dev. I'm sure they're very talented. This is just... If they have made bad design decisions, they probably designed around constraints that they didn't need. I wouldn't say they're bad because they're Canadian. Can I use C-Line for game dev? Sure. Or is it bad, or should I use VS Code? Use what you're comfortable with, honestly. It's I think the tools for what you end up doing for game development are less important than being consistent and persistent. Like, they're almost irrelevant. Like, in my Linux distro, I'm using Linux Mint, and it's my setup is completely scuffed according to some people in chat, and it doesn't matter. As long as I'm grinding every day, studying, that's more important than you know, my setup, because I'm using Visual Studio Code in Linux. Nothing cool like Neo, Vim or something, or whatever the cool editor is of the week. Yeah, so use what suits you. Yeah, it is very scuffed, admittedly. C-Line is licensed, paid for by my school, so I finish and the license ends. I can't use it anymore, and it's not free anymore. I want to use VS Code, but it's too big. I don't know. I ended up doing that with Visual Studio's 2012. I had a student's edition, and I got professional for free, and then I didn't. I don't think it's that important. I don't know what C-Line, like how good C-Line is. I can't really talk about it. I've never used it. But at the end of the day, all you need is a compiler and a text editor, to be honest. Like, in theory, you could debug. You could use Visual Studios as a debugger and whatever, you know. You just any setup works if you get used to it. So I wouldn't worry too much. Getting good is more important than whatever you use. Okay, so I think what's happened here is I've set up a uniform buffer that doesn't make any sense. And I think that's also true on the skybox, and I think that's why the skybox doesn't work. And I've just bumped into it. This is why it's so awkward. It's like everything should work because I've copied the skybox setup, but the skybox setup doesn't even work. So I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. So let's take a step back. What I'm going to do is, what have I changed that I care about? Not much, to be honest. I think I'm going to git stash and then just kind of start again. And I'm going to use this shaded setup, yeah. Oh, well, I git stash. I'm kind of debating if I want to do that. The refactoring features are honestly goated in JetBrains. Oh, there you go then. Yeah, Ratchet uses JetBrains, and he's quite good. Quite good. He's very good at programming. You know, he's nice. Nice to have around. I can steal all his ideas. I don't know. No, all I'm saying is I can vouch. If he says something's good, it's probably good. So it's good. It has good debugging features. If you make functions, it marks it. If you interesting. Nice. It's yeah. I've only used Visual Studio stuff, so I don't really know. Right, I'm gonna just git stash this and just see where we're up to if we do that. Nice. Yeah, mine are unlicensed. I have unlicensed ideas. Okay, so I'll be back. Yeah, appreciate you joining the server and commenting and stuff. It's always nice to have a new face. Yeah, see you later, Frosty. Yeah, my ideas are also free for the taking, really. Not that anyone wants them. Right, yeah. So I've got a really sneaking suspicion I've just done something wrong, completely wrong. And I almost want to just do the buffer device addresses for global now, because I know how to do that and that works. And it removes what I want to do away from. I mean, the buffer device address will be very simple, but yeah. The only downside is I don't know how to index into it in a way that makes sense. So let me puzzle through this for a minute. So we have this vertex data, which is accessed per index buffer. Now, if this is global and this is per instance, is the buffer device address like index 0? Like it's just 1? Or can you have a buffer device address and just like this? I just a struct without an array. Yeah, I feel the same way. My I don't think my code's anywhere close enough for anyone to be worried about stealing it. I almost feel sorry for people who have, you know, want to air quotes steal it. I mean, it's open source, so it's like not really stealing anyway. So I'm like, uh oh, you're gonna learn a bunch of bad stuff. You're gonna be debugging for a while there, bro. You can just have one struct in there. So without this, basically, without this array, in the buffer reference definition. Right, yeah, so the buffer and reference definition can just have one thing in it. That seems cool to me. Right. So what I'm going to do then is try... I don't know which shader to touch first, actually. What shader shall I do first? Yeah, there's some instability with this debug renderer. Still to this day, even with this setup. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is try to do it in here, right? Yeah, because the scriptor sets are a pain in the neck. I'm really starting to dislike them. Scalar, buffer reference, buffer alignment. Yeah, it's read only. I'm not going to write into it. Buffer. So let's make a global struct scene buffer. And I'm going to have to add a bunch of stuff and I don't care about, but in the shader, I think. So, whoops. So to copy this exactly, this uniform buffer, if I want to get rid of it, I've got to have these in. I know it's a little wasteful, but we'll see. We'll see if we can do something about that later. Move them to something else. So scene buffer data. So scene buffer, scene buffer, right? Oh, you can really have any type in there. Nice. Oops, I put 0 instead of 8. And we'll compile that shader and just see. Now we need a buffer device address from this scene thing. Ah, really? Okay, cool. You can put... Wow, see, it's more flexible than I realized. Reference. And we have that. And we're going to throw this in. I think we're going to have to do this all for everything, including this. Yeah, we're going to do it everywhere. So it's going to be a bit of a bigger rewrite than I bargained for, but if it works, it's gonna be super sick. So yeah, we're rewriting the whole. We're going bindless. We're going full bindless. Now we just got to be careful. I've got to design around it. Design around the data, as I said earlier, we should be doing. So I'm going to leave everything in, but I'm just going to comment stuff out slowly. So like this. No, I'm just going to not do the... No, I'm going to have to remove it. The reason... Okay. Scene buffer. Reference. I like you don't have I like you don't have to make a new struct. Oh, you don't have to even make a new struct, you can just throw everything in there. You can just use it like a uniform buffer, effectively. Wow. Which means the... Does that mean it's like easier to access, or... Vertex data... Yeah, that would be easier to access then. Yeah, if I can do that, that'd be even better. Because if I can get away with doing that, then there's a lot less dot. You know, it makes my shader simpler to read. So you can do this, right? I did realize earlier on today that I'm a bit lacking with my buffer device address knowledge, and I think it is hurting me. Right, okay, so we have them. Yep, I got it. Thank you. Thank you. And that means we can just copy and paste this and throw it in Skybox. And what are we doing here? Okay, so we have all the different alias types. So go to this. And that would mean we need the push constants here, which is chill. And do we use the same thing here? Yeah. And push constants. Yes, we're still listening. I'm gonna move on though because the song's gone a bit on a long time. Let's grab the push constants. Oh, that means we also need to... Not that one, though. Are they used here as well? Yeah, they're used here. God dang, this is a whole big... If it repeats, I'll also fix it. Huh? Sure. I think I'm sorry. I know I just had a flashback of me doing too much too quickly and then making mistakes and then wondering why nothing works. I think all I need to worry about is putting the... I just want to do some one shader for now so I don't like completely balk everything. Yeah, I think if it works then I will just change it to everything. I just had I keep making this mistake where I change too much too quickly and then I'm like, oh, it doesn't work and I don't know what I don't know what's broken. So all I need to do to keep up with everything is just keep this the same size. Even if I don't use it, I think it should be fine. I think that's how it works, yes. Turned everything off there. So yeah, we should do it in here exclusively. And yeah. Yeah, because this only does the vertex shader as well, so it's much simpler of a shader. So now, from my understanding, we will just be doing this now. And this. So it's effectively like we're doing... We just remove the dot. And the model's in there because that has to be updated at a different time. All right, yeah. So I don't want to completely go off the deep end and be like, oh no, the totally predictable thing happened. I got it wrong. When it's much easier to debug one shader than all of them. Okay, so debug pipeline, we now have a different buffer device address. So we need to create a buffer that's buffer device address version. And oops, it needs to be from here, I believe. So I'm not going to believe these are true. So how many do we need to set? It's not an array, so okay. Right, so global. Okay. And global. I'm just going to duplicate this. Copy that for a reason. It's not deleted. Alright, put that there. Get rid of this. That's just the size of the struct, which is the uniforms data. And we don't have any data to put in. No, we'll come back to that. And because of that, things get much simpler. We don't have to do any descriptor set layout thing. We want this to be updated in our push constants now. Oh, yeah, we need to update the push constants. So, what did I call it? Let's change in here. Oh yeah, there, need to update that. Scene data. Scene. Yeah, it's called scene address. So it needs to be complicated. The push constants now, size needs to change. So we have 8, 8, 8. 8 times 3 is 24, and then add 4 to that is 28. So 28 is now the size of the... I think I actually made this max, but I'm going to have to check. So push constants. Okay, what's the... Yeah, okay, so I just made it the size of the thing. And number of layouts. Oh, okay, right, so that's for the bindless. I was like, what the heck? Bindless textures. So now we just need a buffer device address, I think. So let's just follow this guy around. Yeah. Perfect, perfect. And this needs to happen, yeah, right here. That's exactly where it needs to happen. It's not an array, so for some reason this isn't working. This, and changes to global. And global, whoops. And this needs to be called scene address. And we should be good. Let's see. This, and this are all the buffer device address. We have the global buffer device address handle. Now we also need to delete it. Which is global. It's pretty trivial to do while we're remembering. And that's the pattern, I believe. I don't think I need to set data in the push constants in the other pipe, in the graphics pipeline. Oh, let me plug you in. Right, sorry, we've got looping music. Let me fix this. I think we've listened to this song enough. So for some reason, for those who are watching, YouTube's if the playlist is long enough, it starts repeating on shuffle the same like 4 songs over and over and over again, which is fine if the songs are really good. But yeah, I've heard that one enough. And let's just go into the shader one more time. So we haven't changed anything else, so it's not like this is going to change. All we've done is a view projection and a global matrix or whatever. Right. Cool 62. Where's 62? Oh, there's an unidentified... Oh, in the core shader. Okay, wrong one. 62. Ah, right. I don't have that buffer device address in here, so it doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about. If I take this, put that in there, and yeah, it must have a... Do I need to take semicolons like this, or is that completely redundant? Anyways, let's do that again. The username is meet. I'm kind of scared to read that out loud. The username, if... So how you doing, dude? I'm not about to be your mama or something. With that that message. Hope you're having a good day, dude. Whatever you're up to. Thanks for joining us. Okay. So we haven't set up this buffer device address. I'm a 16-year-old programmer. Nice, 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 awesome. Are you enjoying yourself? On GitHub, sick. What projects are you making? Are you making game engines as well? Oh, I'm probably not updating the data. So that's important to do. So how do you update this thing? You take that and write to it. Yeah, so let's do that. The username. Okay. Meet Sony. 555. Great. Sorry, I didn't understand the context. That's awesome. I will check you out. Yeah, why not? Hopefully you're enjoying the process of learning and making some cool stuff, like we all are. Thought you were about to do a your mama joke or something, or these nuts. You gotta be guarded against these things. Right, so the data is going to be quite simple. It's just going to be a uniform buffer. It's going to pass it in. Which is better, Raylib or SFLM for bare OpenGL? I've used SFLM to make Minecraft, and that was fun actually. It's actually really useful, and it really integrated well. When I say Minecraft, a terrible Minecraft clone, I should add. So if you do want to do the same, SFLM I can't say anything about Raylib. I enjoyed global, but I've heard good things. People have used that to do the same thing. Global. Yes, there we go. And now we're just going to take these and update them like this, and throw these in here. And I believe for buffer device address, you kind of have to set the data for all of them. Well, I know maybe not with this particular setup. So let's see. This goes in here. This is a buffer device address. Uniform buffer address, not a stack variable. Okay, so this is the buffer device address. Have you tried Raylib before? I need it is considered as with OpenGL and ease of SFLM. I haven't tried Raylib. I haven't had the need to. So I don't really know what's up with it at the moment. But I've heard it's a great framework, just like everything else. So yeah, anything will work with generally OpenGL. I mean, the only things I really did with OpenGL, seriously, apart from that Minecraft thing, was I used GLFW and SDL. I never used frameworks outside of that Minecraft clone I made in 2018 or something. I can't exactly remember. So that goes in there. So I think the data's in there now. Please work, please work, please work. No, boo. So we have dude. I'm not in the loop here, am I? Right, I'm gonna put these below just in case that matters. Don't think it does though. Oh no, I can't. Gotta do it above. By the way, where'd you get these models from? I mean, do you create them yourself in Blender or something? If someone has to quickly use models, then where should that person get them from? I've used Sketchfab, I think it's called. Sketchfab, that's what I use. I use GLFL. Free GLTF models from here. I'm eventually going to work with someone to do art. So, but this is like a great place. There's a load of free equivalent of Sketchfabs out there. Just be aware that when you download a model from the internet, it's going to vary vastly in quality if you don't pay for it. So it's possible that you download a model that's just junk. Just be aware of that. That's because not everyone's like a fantastic modeler that puts their models online for free. I've been told by an artist, if an artist can't sell their models online for money, they'll just put up there for free after failing to sell. That's apparently a common pattern. So yeah, I use a lot of yeah, no problem. I use GLTF sample assets Yeah, so I like Ratchet, I use sample assets as well from if you type in GLTF and it's sample assets GitHub, I think. Yeah, this is what I've been using like pretty much for ages now, and you get lots of different models from this just for free. But you won't get anything very specific. It's just good to you get a lot of variety. That's all. It's like a lot of free variety, and they have different and these have different materials, and some of them are animated, some of them aren't, so you can test different aspects of your engine with different models. Anyway, so hopefully that helps. I will put links in the chat maybe, so you can probably get to Sketchfab pretty easily, but I'll put it in the chat anyway. So there you go, and the GitHub, I think I just closed it. Let me get that back up for you. GLTF assets GitHub. So yeah, I'll throw this in chat, and you can investigate for yourself what might be appropriate for you. There are other ones, but you know, you can join the Discord server if you want to ask other people that we have. Right. So I'm going to do this. I know, Ratchet, you said this. I don't need to do this, but so if I have, no, that makes 32. No, right? No. How much padding would I need to make this 32? Two, I think. $16, 16. No, that's 32. That's 32. I don't need to pad. And it's scalar anyway. But we are getting the right thing. It's just, why isn't the data just any good ever? Right, what we're gonna try is just throwing like dummy data in. It's just because everything else has dummy data in. I just wonder if it's that. Initial data, sorry, set data, uniform. I just throw in a struct. Can I do that? It's like it's a different setup when I do this. Yeah, I might. No. The problem is the last time I did this in RenderDoc and nothing really showed up. But let me, let's try again. Yeah, because I really, if I can get around this, this would be great. We need to turn off this. Up here. And build for release. Make sure that runs. We need to update the shaders as well, because I keep forgetting to do that when we're doing this type of work. Build into release, shaders, paste. Cool. Should get the flashing. Yep. And now we can do the render doc. Load settings, launch, capture frame, and I don't know if it needs to have the red in it. Let's move around a minute. It's just so. All right, I'll capture that frame. And we shall investigate this one. Okay. So index draw, this is the issue. Yep, that makes sense. Instance, we're drawing everything with an instance because they got the same setup. Alright, let's look at the... So there shouldn't be any... No, I don't know why there's a descriptor set there. Oh, push constants, 4 variables. We have a... Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. What else do we have in here? I can poke around in. Can I look at this? Yeah. I need to see the data inside the shader. I need to see GL position, maybe. I know you can see GL position. I can't exactly remember how to do that in this shader. Where is that? Mesh view output. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so they're the indices. Yeah, that makes sense. We have the vertices from 0 to 1, and then the... Okay, the indices are doing something cool. VK color. Right. GL position. That's not... I don't think that's correct. I'm on the right thing. So if I go on this, which is correct, like... scroll through. Okay, so that's for one model. I just had to make sure that wasn't like a... Okay, that's just that. That's just me clicking on stuff that I can select. Nothing. Yeah, no, non-tessellation. Let me think. How do I see? What I might do is save the data. If that makes sense. Like, I might write out the matrix and just see what's in it. Into the shader and just see if we can look at it in here. Because it's probably just that. I think anyway. Oops. Sorry, I've lost the chat. Let me just bring that back. There we go. Okay. You pardon me. You can see local variables, right? So if I do like... Let's see if I can even see local variables. That's I might be lying to myself here. No, we only care about this guy. I think I need to capture a frame where the thing's going wrong. Otherwise, I don't think it's working. I don't think we can see anything. Let me just launch the application again. Just need to trigger it like somehow. But this makes sense why my skybox never worked. Oh, how do I... how do I make this permanent? No, I think it stops as soon as I go off it. Let me simplify the shaders and get rid of the scaling. Excuse me. Oh, no, this is all compiled. I don't do that anymore, where I compile them on the fly. But yeah, this is definitely a wider issue in the engine. It's causing me issues with other things. This is actually a really good thing to try and tackle. So yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. Because what we've done is we stumbled onto something that's like a wider issue. So that's why it's worthwhile to tackle. Okay. Oops, I just left this there. I'm sure it won't do anything bad. Nope, saw red. I think it might require me to move my camera. Let's go back in the asteroid field. Okay, let's try and see if it gives us what that local variable is at least. I don't see the issue here. All pipelines in my render take renderer take 150 milliseconds to build. Interesting. 50 of them, 50 ml of 50 of those. One is ray tracing. Interesting. To build. Is that to load and stuff? Let's see. Nope. Debug this vertex. What does that do? Interesting. I do not know what's going on here. So let's get out of this for a minute and I see. SPRV binaries. Why are you saving them to disk? I thought you didn't want to do SPRV reflection. Or is that only to generate the binaries? Sorry, I'm a bit quiet. I'm just trying to puzzle out what I'm doing. The binaries are generated at build time. Ah, I see. But I need to load them from disk to capture the to create. Yes, I did that. I just assumed that your pipelines are so similar that you didn't have to worry about doing that. That's what I thought you and Blue were saying a while ago. That you could just load them in code. You didn't need to save anything to disk. Okay. I wonder if. Right, I'm gonna try something a bit different. I'm just gonna make a struct. I wonder if it's the way I've constructed this that's just not working. Oops. Save. And this here. And scene data. Oops. What's the... There it is. Alright, I'm going to do that, and copy this over to here, put this here. Yes, you can't, yeah, you can't hot reload if you do that, yeah. Cool, yeah, I mean, it's a fun undertaking. I mean, Vulkan provides a load binary graphics pipeline. Now I understand a bit more what you're doing. I didn't quite understand what you were doing earlier when you were caching. With your own binary files. I assume it's related to that, right? Okay, so we have a uniform, we're doing this. I'm going to throw in some other just junk data for now. Well, just arbitrary. I is equal to 1.f, 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 1.f. And this light is that also a vec4? Yeah. It's not. Oh, it's not related. Sure. Yeah, you can go through it step. I know, what if you want to explain it to me from step by step? I don't really know what your what's related to what, like what the caching's for. I thought the caching would be for your graphics pipelines, so you can load them faster from disk or something like that. Okay. Oh, I'm in release. Right, simple mistake. No such field as view projection. Instruct. What? Okay, so I'm just going to put 1 in front of everything. So there's no name collisions for now. Okay, yeah, we only have global thingy. And that means nothing can get mixed up. And we have a view projection is not in the struct field. What are you talking about? Oh, debug rendering. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I understand now. Idiot. That's the issue. And one more time. It's not in the struct field. Oh, okay. I think that's what I need to do. Cannot open. Oh yeah, cannot open file because it's already spazzing out in this. And yo, D2 Codes, how you doing? So I compile all the shaders into spiv. I load the spiv binaries at runtime to create the pipelines. At load time, yes. I can at runtime issue a shader compile. Okay. I entirely to. We did instancing. Yes, we did. Which is neat. Because Nate, I already had the data. I did indeed. Yes, great suggestion from D2 Codes. I didn't do anything. This is so fiddly. Right, I'm going to change song. Yeah, that'll do. Give me a minute. You got a bit of Sonic R. I haven't had this in a while. Pause that, start it again, I guess. Should have technically paused it while I was there. Oh. Yeah, hopefully you get it over your headache as well, flipping heck. Hopefully it's not contagious. Mm-hmm. Yo, forgot how good the song is. Yeah, you can say that again. Holy, GPUs are silly. Nope. Same deal. Change the buffer alignment. Oh, I hate doing this. This is one of my least favorite things to do. Just mess around with the buffer alignment. Nope. Nope. And new. Can't imagine the 32. Get rid of it completely. Nope. Right. Right, what am I gonna try? It's possible that we don't end up doing this here, so it kind of breaks it all. Buffer device address is right, so I'm gonna have to kind of just do this in a different place real quick. Let's throw this up here. And in the push constants, yeah, let's just move this. Because we're binding a push constants, and I wonder if it's like we've got like a bad push constants or something. Without the buffer device address in it. Get rid of that. This is what I want? Yeah, okay. So scene address, buffer device address for this global thing. We actually only update the actual thingamajig, yeah. I wonder if I have to do it there as well. I can do it there, there's no reason not to. So when this doesn't work, I'll do it there as well. And then I'll think about something else when this doesn't work. Yeah, so yeah, we're in a different. Yep. What else are we gonna do then? What else? Yeah, let's throw this back in just for a minute. We've got to try something else that doesn't work. Let's see. Global model 1. That goes there. I said this yesterday, but your GPU is like a self-starter employee. It needs to be handed all the work, yes. And yeah, oh my goodness, you're not wrong there. I think there was an older GPUs, not like I'm talking about like GT, the NVIDIA GT 680 type. Oh yeah, this is good. Hopefully, I'm not getting copyright strike because this is still video game music. I won't be living in the city for long if I get. Not that I care. Who cares? I mean, I'm gonna lose all my zero money to adverts. But anyway, I can't even remember what I was gonna say now. This song is too good. What am I gonna do? Let me check something quick. Just checking something on my other computer. Cool. All right. Trying to think what to do. Is it the local variable or something that's just not good? Maybe it falls out the stack frame and it's just a dangling pointer at the end of the frame and it needs to exist longer. I don't know. I mean, everything else is on the stack. I just can't think of anything. Nope. Still not there. Wait, I'm not doing that right. Let's go to this. Wait. I think I made a mistake here. I need to bind this before we use it. Okay, so where is this? Where? Sorry. So obviously this was initialized somewhere else. Where? Ah, okay. Yep. I'm gonna. I don't know. No, I think it's already created. We already have the buffer allocator further up. Yeah. We just need to have the scene address accessible in the same place. I think I delete something that was not meant to be deleted. Okay. So that was never going to work anyway. Nope. And that is definitely what we want. We want that. So let's put this back in 5. At 5. I meant 8. I don't know why I said 5. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? This should just work trademark is coming into my head and I don't know why it's not working. We are copying over data. There's no dangling pointers. This has a value. Is there something else I need to do? Oh, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. Hang on. don't I need to set up like what's in this thing? Or is it just the range? This now needs to be in both, but I think we're under the vertex shader for now. Yeah. Push constant, range count. Oh, you can have more than one. It's the same push constants in different shaders, which I think you can do for different pipelines. I'm a bit stumped. I'm just trying to think if I should start studying buffer device addresses again and like really dig into it, because clearly I just don't get it. If it's taking me this long to get it, then I just don't get what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, this didn't do anything. The data should be there and it's not. We have the It's like almost like a fluke I got the other stuff working. For some reason it's just like it works in array, but it doesn't work when it's just a struct. So this struct is the same size, yeah. Am I doing this right? Source, yeah, I want to put that in. I don't want to make it a pointer because then I have to allocate it on a heap at the very least. I mean, I could literally put it in an array with one element, but it doesn't. Like, why would that make a difference? I just want to multiply matrices together. That's as simple as it gets. I mean, if I let's break everything even more. So instead of using that uniform buffer object, I'm going to use the reference and just see if this gives us an indication what's going wrong. Like this, like this, like this, like this. That should compile. I mean, I could throw this in render doc, but now I've broken everything. Let's just see if it tells us even what's going on. Okay, wrong. The shaders haven't been updated. So if I go in here, let's see, shaders and copy and go to release assets. Cool. Okay, so if I throw that in render doc, I have no idea what's going to happen, but black. Okay. Now everything's broken. Model, model, model. Push constants for variables. Yep. You don't have anything crazy in them. We have... Yep, we have stuff which just... Nothing crazy in there. Do you have anything? No, you can't work anything out, can you? You can't actually figure out what's in these buffer device address definition thingies. Descriptor set layout, but there's just nothing in it. Alright, so pipelines. Where's the mesh layout? What are these two? Okay, get rid of this. Right, close this. Close this. Oh, I've closed the... I'm trying to figure out where the mesh draw's gone. The mesh viewer, sorry. I don't know what you're trying to do right now, to be honest, lol. Not to be rude, don't think Escape Point knows himself. What I'm trying to... I'll explain. What I'm trying to figure out is why this buffer device address definition thing is not working. And I don't understand exactly why. It's just when I copy the data over, like you would expect, the data just comes through as junk. And I don't see how or why. The padding is correct. It's a 16, 16, sorry, 32, 32, 16, 16. So it's divisible by 8. Which the scale is on this side, I guess. When I access this as a pointer shader storage buffer object to actually do something with, we just get a junk data. It doesn't matter if you have this struct in or not as well. That also doesn't make a difference. The reason I'm trying to do this is to reduce the graphics driver overhead for calling objects that don't need to be updated by the physics engine, because obviously the less interaction I can have with the physics engine, the better. And that is proven to be the performance overhead when it comes to this particular issue. So what I do is I set up a struct with a bunch of data that needs to be passed to the buffer device address. And the only difference between the other two buffer device addresses is not an array. This is just a single element, which apparently is fine according to Ratchet, which I haven't read all the foibles with buffer device addresses. I don't exactly know all the details of buffer device address, so it's clear that this is going to be my next research project off stream, even though I haven't really finished with synchronization yet. So yeah, it's and the reason I'm trying to do that is so I can get rid of the buffers, the descriptor sets. I don't know the difference. These ones work, this one doesn't. I don't know if it's the push constants, I don't know if it's the... I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't use this integer, but I could delete that. But I was thinking I was going to reuse it for something else. So yeah, it's a bit of a I don't know why it's not working type situation. Yeah, because we get the data out, we point it to the point, and it's not like we don't get any data. We do get some data, but it's just crap. It's like it's crap in a way that it's like we can't. It just everything disappears. Everything just goes off to infinity or something, because it's the view projection matrix that's going wrong. And if that's wrong, then yeah, I don't know. All bets are off, honestly. As you would probably expect. I struggled with buffer device addresses before. I thought I was over that, especially because it's aligned on like these are. Like these are aligned. I almost want to do this. I know it seems mad, but like one element, like I don't even know you're allowed to do that. Or just like this, because apparently this works and the others don't. I don't know if it's the push constant as well. It could be like that. We're just not getting anything. I don't know. I have no idea. Nope. Yeah, I think I'm gonna share my Discord link with people who might be watching. Let me just grab that. And post that in chat for anyone. Anyone's allowed to join if you're chill. And yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there, guys. I just don't know buffer device addresses enough to debug this properly. So I'm just gonna spend the rest of the time of the day and tomorrow, all tomorrow, up until I stream again, I think, learning more, because I just don't know what's going wrong. They're so fiddly, buffer device addresses. They just nothing is working, and I think it's also affected the skybox. The skybox is broken in exactly the same way. It's the data. I think it's not working. I think everything else is fine. So yeah, I will call it a day. I will see you guys soon. I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you're up to, and I'll see you soon. Yeah.